Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Clement. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto area. And in today's video, we're going to dive into foreclosure properties. That's one of the questions that I keep getting a lot for investors, particularly just asking me about foreclosure property in Toronto. I might make some of you happy. I might disappoint some of you with some of the information that I have on here, but just hang in there up until the end because I'm going to have more information on this for you guys that you can actually really benefit from. But before I get into that, for those who are new here, hit subscribe button. It helps the channel, like the video, and share this with those people who you think might find value on this stuff. So let's dive into the video. Foreclosure properties in Canada. So first of all, where can you find foreclosure properties here in the Greater Toronto area? You can get them in the real estate platforms like the MLS, or you can also get them in the bank listings, but mainly you'll find them in the MLS as well, because this is where a majority of properties are sold in the Greater Toronto area. So one big thing about foreclosure properties that a lot of people really get wrong is the notion that you're going to get a really good deal on this. For the most part, it goes as first come, first serve. The process actually does take slightly longer than a typical transaction as well. A lot of times, the bank wants the lesser conditions, the better. If you have inspection condition in there, they sell them as is for the most part. So they're not going to fix a lot of things. So whatever you see is whatever you're going to get for a lot of these foreclosure properties. Now, here's the thing that's going to throw you off a lot in the Greater Toronto area market. So one thing here, it takes 6 to 10 months before a property is foreclosed. There's not so many foreclosure properties in the market. By the time a property goes to foreclosure, the seller either is just not paying that much attention, because the lenders here typically are very on point on reaching out to the owners and making sure the payments are made. If you miss just one payment, they will be on you as fast as possible. In and around those period, you're not making any payments. But before you get to this point as a seller, really, here is where having a good real estate agent really helps. Somebody like myself, I always do a comparable market analysis every year for my clients, and I'm always in touch with all my past clients. So if you ever fall into a position where you're not able to make payments, you want to be able to have this conversation with them so that they can be able to help you ahead of time, because it's worse to get your property taken by the bank as opposed to you selling it ahead of time. But now, let's say you are a consumer, you are a buyer, and you're looking for this property. So those type of properties here in the Greater Toronto area are not as much. But if you come across one of them, you want to really jump on it really quick, because it's a first come, first serve. And the quicker you get to it, the better. A lot of times, this process is not, as I've said earlier in the video, this process is not as straightforward as a typical residential purchase, where you just submit an offer, you're dealing with a home buyer. This one, you're dealing with a bank, and a lot of times it will happen between Monday and Friday during work hours. It's not going to be overtime or at night when you're submitting offers and things like this. But the major thing that you have to know, if you see a foreclosure property, if you come across one, jump on it really quick. Make sure your situation is good and be able to move forward with this. You want to also make sure you negotiate effectively, because a lot of times the real estate agents that's representing this foreclosed property, they don't have a lot of say on this, because it's more so an auction as well too. So when you're dealing with the listing agent in this case, they are just as much in the dark as you are as well as a potential buyer to this property. So because you're dealing with lenders, you're dealing with the bank, a lot of times they just look at the offer and they want to make sure their part is covered, and the rest, if it's according to the market, they'll take it. But the main thing that I want to leave you with this video, particularly if you're in the Greater Toronto area, don't really depend so much on foreclosure properties in today's market. I know this is what a lot of people are looking for. This is what the question that I always get a lot. There's not as many foreclosed properties in the market today, surprisingly. Now, maybe in the next year or two, because this is when a lot more of refinancing and a lot more new mortgages are coming up. So we'll see what's going to happen with this. These are people who purchased in 2017, 2018. A lot of them are coming into renewals, and they're going to be shocked with the new interest rates that they have to come across. So I'll leave this with you here. If you have any questions, you want to talk to me in a private session, I have a link down here below. In this session, we'll just get to talk about your needs and find out if working with me makes sense for you, and we'll take it from there. Until next time, see you in the next video.